Takaya Chaksurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vigna Vinasha Narsimha Iti Namine. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so today's topic, speak your mind. I'm so sorry, the group night, I forgot to post this. Usually I post this much in advance, so you will have something to think about and share in the class. Okay, but anyway, this can be taken as an impromptu energizer. So you can jump in and share. So tell us the last time you lost something. What happened and what lesson you learned from that incident? What have you lost? Okay, so anybody would like to go in and speak, share first? What have you lost and what is the lesson that you learned?
Good evening, Mataji.
Good evening, Kajai Mataji.
This happened in 2020. So what I lost was not out of death. We just lost as in we are no longer best friends. My best friend since I was 13 years old until now. For some reason, she decided that she didn't want to be best friends anymore. She just wanted to be friends and acquaintances. So first, it was very hard to accept it because we've been friends for as long as I can remember. And she's my bestest friend. And then slowly I realized, oh, wait a minute. We all grow. We all change as we grow. We progress, we digress. We go through so many things in life. And sometimes in our lives, certain people maybe do not play a bigger role like how they used to be because our lives are changing and you don't see that person in that role anymore. So I figured, you know what? In the next phase of a life, maybe my role is no longer there or I don't play that bigger role anymore. And it's okay because in my life, my personal life also, my group has changed so much. I've got very few friends. So that was one of the biggest lessons that I learned is to learn to let go and live. So that's something that I want to share.
Very nice, Mataji. Did you find a replacement friend or you tend to like live with it? You are your own best company, you are not like that.
Oh, that one, definitely. I'm madly in love with myself. But apart from that, I have another three of us were close friends. So the other person is still around now, but she's in the UK. But I still have the other best friends though. But this one was a bit sakit lah.
So it's a painful lesson, but you learned it that nobody is indispensable, is it?
Correcto.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Yeah, it's a good sharing for those who are grieving for somebody who has left us, but grieving not only for those who have departed from this world, grieving is also for those who are not remaining in our life circle. Okay, yeah, it's good, Mataji. It's a good advice. Okay, anybody else would like to share? We can hear two more. Anything else you have lost? Money?
Yeah, I would like to share,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji, carry on.
But this is not about me. It was my mom. She was here during the COVID last year with me for 3 months. And somehow she was explaining to my kids about a ring that she was wearing for the last, I don't know, empty years, I think, I don't know. So many years. And that ring was given by her daughters, which is me and my sisters. 3 of us shared and bought her a ring. And she was so proudly speaking about the ring. And she said she has never let go of it and she always wear those. Then one day she gave that ring to my daughter, asking her to put inside her pocket because I don't know, I can't remember where they went. So she put. And when she came back, she realized that ring is lost.
Oh my God.
And my daughter tried. No, Amuma, the ring was in my pocket. She was trying to look for it. My mom was so upset. It was not even it was a platinum or silver or something like that, La Mataji. It was not gold ring, but she was wearing it for a very, very long time.
Okay, so definitely has that attachment, right?
Yeah. So then what happened? I said, Amma, never mind lah. It's just a ring. It's okay. I'll buy you another one, a better one. He said, no, that is something so precious to me because it was something that 3 of y'all gave me. So months passed by for her to actually forget it, or she just told me, sincerely, I know my ring will come back to me. I said, are you sure? We searched the whole house, the pots, the pans, everywhere, but we couldn't find. And like what she said, I think her prayers worked. After about, I think 6 months, that ring, we got back that ring. It was actually in my car. I took my car, I don't know how many times to car wash. Okay, they vacuumed the car. But that ring, my daughter who lost it, she found it underneath the carpet. Somehow one day when I asked her to vacuum the car, she found it. So we just kept it as a surprise. And when I gave to my mother the last school holidays when I went, I tell you, the glow in her face, she just told me, I told God that this thing is so precious to me. And I definitely know that one day it'll come back to me. Sincerely, it came back. So I think the prayers worked. So sometimes I feel when you lose something, if it's truly yours and you really believe that, you will come back, somehow you will find it back in one way or another.
In this case, your mom has been very fortunate to get back.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, there's one time I lost my pendant in temple long ago. At that time, Uttama Prabhu was around. So I was like complaining, that's my pendant. They say, if you have your sukriti, you will get it. I didn't get it. So it means probably I have taken somebody's jewelry in the past. So I have lost it. All right. So yeah, like that. So like this, we have lost, in this is exception case where you have lost something and you have gotten it back. So many times we have lost something, we never get it back.
Mataji,
Yes.
I share.
Yeah, can.
I joined, I went to ISKCON in Waterfall, Penang. The first time I go, then because I read Bhagavad Gita, so I searched for Krishna. They all said Waterfall, there's a Krishna temple. Then I went there. Then for some time, for 2 or 3 weeks, they give me Radharani and Krishna, the Radha Krishna photo. So the first photo I have is very precious to me. So I try to put on the cupboard. There's just only a table. There's a line there. Because it's laminated, the small picture of Radharani and Krishna. So I put there, every day I offer obeisances because the first picture I got. Then every Sunday, because that time in 2006, I think 2008, I think. And then because I still working, every Sunday we all employ Indonesia maid and wash the house. So every Sunday or before the maid come, I always keep this picture, this small limitation. I think just 2 inches by 3 inches, very small. I always keep it, afraid that the Indonesian maid maybe take my photo or touch my photo because I very precious. Only the first I got. Then one day I forgot. One Sunday I forgot to keep the photo. That one. Then the maid went back already. Then I think they quickly come and see. Hey, where's my Radharani Krishna picture? Then see, I can't find. Don't know where is. I asked my son, where I can't find. On table, under floor, everywhere, I find. I think the maid maybe had see beautiful, maybe
Taken it.
Then how I offer? I only face to the window or the door. The sky there. There only I offer obeisances to Krishna. I offer because that time I I chant myself 2 or 3 rounds. Everything I learned from the book. I didn't go to temple yet because then after 1 week already, I wake up, the photo come back exactly put on the place I put, because there's a gap, a line there, and just make it stand, no? Why the picture come back exactly like that? Then I think, why? Then I already tell they all don't play with me lah. How come the picture come back? My son, my daughter say, no, we all don't touch. Why the picture come back? We also don't know. Then already 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 years already. Then one day, that one, because every time I pay electric bill at the end of the month, then due date already, I can't find. Then I said, Hare Krishna, will you please find my electric bill is back, due date already. Then I just said only, I turned back. My electric bill on the middle of my hall, no? Then
You've got magic in your prayers, Mataji. Can you also pray for me?
Then I said, thank you again. Then I think, the photo maybe Krishna.
Yeah.
I think I hope it's Krishna put it back. Now I still I still confused also how the picture come back.
Yeah, very puzzling. Krishna can be mischievous. He's playing with you, probably.
Yeah, many incident happen, no? Because my house leaking, because last time because I a single mother, I said, very difficult for me. I have to work also, I have to cook everything, do. Then I said, ayo, Krishna, entanglement and bondage come again. Exit immediately stop, no, the leaking so big in my dining table. Until now, no leaking.
Okay, so we all know who to turn to if you want to pray. We'll look for Yashoda Mataji, because Krishna seems to be listening to her. Very nice, Mataji. Thank you so much. Okay, so it's nice that you also have lost something and you've got it back. But it's unfortunate for many of us, okay, that we have lost something and we never get it back, whatever it is. Okay, so this is basically to show that material things in our positions are temporary. Okay, they are not unreal. All right, like many philosophers, some people say, oh, this world is not real, this is illusion. They will say that, but what our teaching is saying is that this material world is real, but it's temporary. Okay, so it means that everything gets lost over a period of time. Okay, sooner or later, we will lose them. So this week's discussion is about whether, if there is anything at all that's eternal. Is there anything eternal at all? That is why we want to learn. So the topic of this week is eternity of Bhakti. Okay, so we always like to link our current topic to the previous weeks. So who remembers what was the topic last week or 2 weeks back? Just the topic. Week 12, before week 12, week 11, what is the topic? Can you see that picture? This is a clue.
About that, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. What was it?
The painfulness, like the pain that we go through during death.
Okay, so it's about attaining the supreme, right? Ante Narayana Smriti. That is the title. Week 10 was offering to the Lord. Very good, Mataji. Week 11, attaining the supreme. Remember all the frog stories, right? Yes. Okay. The final exam. Our thoughts at time of death. Practice makes a man perfect. Yeah, Bhakti steps is what we are doing now. These are all Bhakti steps. So we are taking the small Bhakti steps. So offering is one small Bhakti step. It's like that. Okay. Devotional service, the natural instinct of every living entity. Who can tell me, who can share what we actually covered in this part here? Natural instinct of every living entity. What actually we covered here? What does it mean? Let's try to refresh our memory.
Eating,
What does it mean?
sleeping, eating, sleeping, matching, and defending.
No, Mataji. Group 22. Anybody recall what we covered in the week 11? What we covered under this natural instinct of every living entity is to perform devotional service. I gave some examples.
Devotional service.
Can be done by
Is it the offering,
The
Mataji
nine,
Prashad?
is it the 9 devotional services that you mentioned, Mataji?
that
Is it the
one
9
can go
forms?
to the last one. That one can go to the last one. See the bullet number 4.
Devotional, you're at practice, you're at devotional service, natural instinct.
Yes, of every living entity, not only human. Do you remember anything that we covered under this segment? Who can
What-
perform activity? Is it
Who
only
can
human?
perform?
Is it only human?
Dog.
Yes.
Picture there is the dog, that one.
Yes, correct. The dog taking part in the kirtan.
And a boy I saw.
Yes, a small boy, a small child.
Dancing.
Correct. Yes. So animals, and not only a well-grown adult can engage themselves in devotional service. A small child can. How about children in the womb? Can you give some examples?
Prahlad.
Prahlad Maharaj, yes. Who gave him association when he was in the womb?
Narada.
Narad Muni.
Very good. Nice, Mataji. Devotional service in practice. Please give me some examples. Somebody say 9 devotional service. What, Mataji?
Mataji,
Being
Sravanam. Then?
After that, hear. Sravanam is hearing. After you hear, what do you do?
Ajay Mataji, help.
Kaja Mataji will.
Kirtanam.
Kirtanam, Mataji, Kirtanam.
Kirtanam, correct. After here, we chant. After that,
Yes.
Shravanam, Kirtanam,
Smaram Parasevanam.
Smaranam, Parthasaranam,
what
Daishyam,
is Smaranam?
Archanam.
What is Smaranam in English?
Remembering.
Very good, remembering. Okay, these 3 is very important. We are starting always, we are doing it, at least these 3 we are doing every day. Of course, in the house, we are doing Vandanam, Archanam, all that you are doing as well. What is the last one?
Atma Nivendara or Sakyam.
Atma Nivedanam, surrendering. Okay, total surrender. Okay, so who attained perfection by hearing? Some more questions. Bukan otak.
Mataji, everybody have made notes. Oh,
Prahlad Maharaj.
Hey, Prahlad Maharaj, no. Mataji,
devotional
disappointing.
Oh, sorry.
Who attained perfection just by hearing? The first picture, always the first picture, somebody is listening, somebody is. Who is that?
Harish Maharaj.
Parikshit Maharaj.
Parikshit Maharaj attained perfection by hearing. Who attained perfection by speaking?
Sutagal Goswami. Sutagal Goswami.
Correct. Who attained perfection by remembering?
Prahlad, is it?
Correct, Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, for now, these 3 is enough. Okay, so yes, thank you, Mataji. Thank you. So like this, we will go on interacting. So please jump in and interact. Okay, so now we are going to talk about the eternity of Bhakti. Eternity of Bhakti means there is no loss in whatever you are practicing. You have practiced something this birth for this much, 5%. And then let's say we depart from this world and we're going to come back and we're going to continue from 6%. So this sloka you would have definitely seen in level 1 and level 2. Okay. Can I have somebody to read this? Who would like to go? Anybody volunteer? If you can read the Sanskrit, it'll be good. Otherwise, the English will do.
I'll read the English, yeah.
Okay, Mataji.
In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear.
Okay, here, thank you, Mataji. So this part of this chapter is Krishna is talking about Buddhi Yoga. Okay, yoga with intelligence. It's very close with Bhakti Yoga. It's very close. You're doing service with intelligence. So Krishna is saying there is no loss or diminution. Little advancement can protect from the most dangerous type of fear. Question, what is that fear? What are we fearful about? What is this fear? What Krishna is
Old
talking?
age disease.
Death,
Is it
fear of
Fear of death.
death.
No.
No.
Death is just a process. What are we actually fearful about?
Lost.
Ignorance.
No.
Something might happen which we are not sure about. That's what we are scared about.
No. This is going to happen. We are
not
very sure.
not remembering Krishna at the time of death?
No. Okay.
The
Okay.
fear of rebirth.
Yeah. Who is that? Kajai Mataji. Okay.
What she say?
You
What she
don't
say?
want to be reincarnated. You just want to,
Say that again, Mataji, clearly.
because you don't want to be reincarnated.
Yes.
You want the cycle to
dangerous-
end. That's your biggest fear. To go
Yes.
back, you don't go back to him.
Yes, the dangerous type of fear is us taking birth. Okay, so in that, what is most dangerous? Taking birth is already dangerous. Now, the most dangerous type of fear is what? What is it?
A lower being, like
Very good, Mother. I'm
Animal
so
form.
happy you remember. Yeah. So it's not just about taking birth. Okay, people can say, it's okay, I will take birth again in a nice family. I can do that. But do we have control over our next birth? No. And the most dangerous type of fear is us taking birth in animal form of life. Look at the clue here. It's already given here. Okay, so it's good. Okay, so a little advancement in this Buddhi Yoga, we will not go into animal species. So it's very important. Okay, so we need to utilize this human body that we have in this life. Okay, anyone practicing Krishna consciousness is at least to get a human body in the next life. Okay, so the most dangerous type of fear is animal body. Okay, you totally have no control how it's going to be. Okay, nobody can be like, not everybody can be like King Bharat, who took birth as?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very nice. Okay, so let's compare our material achievements. Yeah, so in this life, Tamarai Mataji would have gotten PhD, and then we have another Mataji, Saras Mataji. Okay, all right. So after Mataji leaves the body, and when she comes back, hopefully not, touch wood, she has to come back from kindergarten, standard 1, standard 2, standard 3. Okay, we cannot come back with our PhD. We cannot do double degree again, double PhD again. We have to start from the scratch. Okay, material qualification does not continue in the next life, starts from 0. Okay, on the contrary, what happens with spiritual life?
We are born in
It continues from where we stop in spiritual life.
Yes. So this life you may be doing this, chanting and reading, attending Gita Gyan without fail, coming every week. Okay, but something happens, we couldn't go back to Krishna immediately. Okay, then next life you start giving class when you are 5 years old, like Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, sometimes when you see young children, they can speak sloka very well. Later I'll show you a nice video. Okay, how a baby sings. Okay, slokas. So spiritual qualification continues in the next life from where it was left. So it's a progress. It's a progress. Okay, it's not a reset. Okay, material life achievement is a reset as you leave the body and come back. For spiritual life, it's a continuation. Okay, so that's why BG 2. Bhagavad Gita 2.40, Krishna says, in this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution. And a little advancement on this path, but we try not to do that. We try to do a little bit more than the little. Okay, we try to do that more. Okay, can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Okay, so this is a concept. Okay, we have done this in level 1, level 2. So level 3 is like this. We're going to pick just a thematic topic and then we will expand it using stories. Okay, so today, actually the module today very, very, very brief. So I am giving you some stories. Who knows Yamunacharya? Under which one sampradaya he comes? Anybody knows? Which? How many sampradayas we have? Everyone?
4.
Oh, okay. Tell me one.
Lakshmi Sampradaya.
Lakshmi Sampradaya is also called Sri Sampradaya. Okay, so it comes from goddess Lakshmi. There's one coming from Lord Brahma. What is it called?
Kumaras?
Sorry, Mataji?
Not the Kumaras?
Not yet, not yet. Now from Lord Brahma. What is it called? The lineage coming from Mother Lakshmi, goddess Lakshmi, is Sri Sampradaya. Sri means Lakshmi. Yeah? So Sri Sampradaya. The lineage that comes from Lord Brahma, what is it called?
Shankaracharya.
Sankaracharya? No. We are in that lineage. ISKCON is coming under that Lord Brahma.
Yeah.
Madhavacharya, Mataji.
Yes, Madhavacharya is one of the prominent Acharya in our lineage. But what is the name of the Sampradaya?
This is Brahma's Madhav.
Brahma?
Brahma Madhava.
Madhva. Brahma?
Madhva.
And because Mahaprabhu comes under that, so it is called Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Okay. So the other two is Rudra Sampradaya and Kumara Sampradaya.
Yeah.
Right? So you remember these two are very prominent, right? Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, that ISKCON comes under, because Mahaprabhu comes under that. And then we have Sri Sampradaya. So a very prominent Acharya in Sri Sampradaya is Sri Ramanujacharya.
Yeah.
Okay. So there is a Samadhi of Sri Ramanujacharya somewhere.
Help me with the food.
Okay, so the Samadhi of Sri Ramanujacharya is somewhere in India. Who knows the original body of Sri Ramanujacharya? Anybody seen?
Sri Rangam temple.
Sri Rangam, correct. Okay, so Sri Ramanujacharya has a guru, and that guru has a guru. Okay, so such is, okay, no problem, Mataji. Okay, that is Yamunacharya. Okay, Yamunacharya comes under that lineage. Okay, so let's have somebody to read. We have some reading to do today. Gunalan Prabhu.
Okay. Yamuna Acharya or Alavanda was a Vishishtaita philosopher in Sri Rangam, Tamil Nadu, India. Ramanuja, one of the leaders of the Sri Vaya school, thought to be his disciple. He was born in early 10th century CE and was the grandson of a Brahmin, Nanda Muni. Nanda Muni was a famed yogi who collected the works of Tamil Alvas.
Okay. So just like
Ramanuja is also the most brilliant mathematician in the world.
no, that's different Ramanujam. That's
I know.
Ramanujam. The name, right? Yes, yeah. Okay, so
Yes.
Nada Muni, let's talk about Nada Muni. Yeah? Okay, everybody heard about 4,000 Divya Prabandham, right? So there are 4,000 Pasurams sung by Alvars glorifying Lord Perumal. Okay, now after many years they have left, Nada Muni came and compiled the whatever that he can salvaged. All right, he gathered that 4,000 Divya Prabandham. So Nada Muni is famed for this effort, for compiling these Pasurams, 4,000 Pasurams. So Nada Muni had a son, and the son had a son, but his son passed away immediately after Yamunacharya was born. So basically Nada Muni was taking care of the grandson Yamunacharya. Okay, so later on I tell you how he got this the name Alavandar. Okay. So when Yamunacharya was a little boy, he was trained to be a good devotee by his grandfather Nada Muni. The Nada Muni was such a great devotee. Okay, he was a sadhu, so he trained his grandson to be a very good devotee. Okay. So one day, at that point of time, there's, those days they don't have YouTube and Netflix, Amazon Prime, they don't have that. So how they fill their time is they learn, they acquire knowledge, they learn, they study the Veda, they study so many kind of scriptures. So they go and debating with each other. Okay, they'll have a point and then they will debate. So if you're good in debate, then you win, like that. So like this, some people, they emerge as a very scholarly person, that they become the unbeatable person in that area. So like this, there was this guy called Akiyalvan, or sometimes he's also called, hold on, I forgot the name, hold on. There's another name to him, Kolahala, I think. Okay, so he was challenging everybody, and not only when he defeats them, he gets he takes pride of his winning, he insults them. Okay, he humiliates them. Even though they're very learned, he will humiliate them. So this situation was being observed by young Yamunacharya. He was just a 16 years old boy. So one day there was a challenge thrown to everybody. Akiyalvan was called upon those whoever can challenge him. And those days, same like that. Similar to that, the king those days also, they like to see this kind of debates going on in their palace. They like to view that. They like to see people debating. Sometimes we also, I don't have astro, okay, but I know there's a problem called Nia Nana, right? So you like to see people arguing and debating, see who's winning, who's right and who's wrong, like that. So people take pleasure in this kind of debate. So like this is an entertainment of for kings those days. So this boy, Yamuna, also went to the court. Okay, so after, when this boy came, right? So, the reaction of Akiyalvan. Akiyalvan is the Vidwan, the one who's debating, right? He said, "You're such a young boy. Did you come to rule me?" Alavandara. He will ask him, Alavandara, did you come to rule me? He will ask like that. Okay, has he come to rule me? Like that. But eventually, it's like Yamunacharya has to put 3 points, and which Akiyalvan cannot defeat, but only Yamunacharya can defeat his own 3 points. So that happened, and Yamunacharya emerged as the winner of that debate. So the queen was so impressed with the boy, and she indeed gave the name to him, Alavandar. Okay, that's how he got the name Alavandar. The queen was so impressed with the boy that she told the king, so she wanted the king to reward him. You know what is the reward? To give away half of the kingdom. Okay, it was such a small village. Okay, so she actually persuaded the king to give half of the kingdom to Yamunacharya as a reward for that winning, because he won the debate. Otherwise, because if you get the half of the kingdom, you are also a king already, because it's a small village. You are also called a king already. So Alavandar, the savior. There's another term is savior. Okay, so the king sent Akiyalvan out of his kingdom because he lost to Yamunacharya. Okay, and for Yamunacharya's, this mic is noisy. Okay, so thus Alavandar has become the king, and because the king's duties are very taxing, right? He could not attend to spiritual pursuits further. Okay, so you have a nice brahmachari here who has just inherited half of the kingdom, which means he has become the king. And then when you become king, you have ministers, and then you have servants. So when you have all these things, you have to associate with all of it. Then he has to administer the various duties of the king. When you are a king, you have so much of luxuries, opulence, and materialistic people around you. So in this situation, he got all caught up. He was so entrenched of all of his responsibilities and his surroundings that he completely forgot about devotion to the Supreme Lord. So this is the turning point. This is how the association around him, his attachments to the surroundings, has actually changed him, has taken him away from his focus on the Supreme Lord. Okay, and because he has practiced all kind of knowledge-seeking efforts from small, as taught to him by his grandfather, and because of it, this environment association, all this has washed away. All right, so this is the power of materialistic association. Asat Sangatyaga e Vaishnava Achar. Okay, this is what it does to us. Okay, so in this case, Mahaprabhu has said this. Can somebody read for us, please? Charana Mataji.
Krishna Mataji. Anyone who wants to cross this ocean of material birth and that know that to associate with people too much addicted to the objects of the senses is worse than drinking poison willingly. So Yamuna became infatuated and he became completely materialistic king, became completely attached to sense gratification. But at one point, he was a sincere devotee. What is important is that he was a sincere devotee. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
thank you, Mataji. So this is what Mahaprabhu said: a wrong material, wrong association can bring you into can land you in a lot of troubles. Okay, but in this point, Mahaprabhu is saying, but this Yamunacharya was a sincere devotee. So what is important if that person has been a sincere devotee before? Okay, he was not a show bottle. He was really a devotee. Okay, due to some temptation and distractions, he has lost touch with it. Okay, so how did that help him? Being a sincere devotee in the past, how it helped? So let's go back to Nada Muni now, the guru, his grandfather who is a guru. So Nada Muni realized that the grandson has drifted away because of the new position that he got. Okay, so if you sincerely and honestly chant the holy name, like I mentioned, if you've been a very sincere devotee, engage in devotional service, then Krishna will never let you go. He may allow you to go for a while, apparently, but he will always be making some arrangements to reclaim your soul. So in this case, it comes through Yamunacharya's grandfather. Okay, so can somebody read for us, please?
Can I?
Yes. Sirisha Mataji, welcome Mataji. Please read for us.
Krishna Mataji. Narada Muni instructs Rama.
Sorry, Mataji, it's Nada Muni. Nada Muni.
Nata Muni, Nata Muni instructs Rama Mishra. When Nath Muni was on his deathbed, he called upon one of his intimate disciples, Ram Mishra, and told him, Yamuna was a good devotee, but he is fallen down. Now he is attached to all material life. I am old. I can do nothing to save him. So I'm giving you this as my last instruction before I leave this world. Somehow or other, please rescue my grandson from materialistic life.
Okay, thank you, Sirisha Mataji. So Nada Muni was his deathbed, and he has the responsibilities of bringing back Yamunacharya. So he called upon his disciple, Rama Mishra, please go and save my grandson. Please bring him back to the right track. Okay, but Yamunacharya, he's a very busy king. So Rama Mishra was thinking how to get his attention. So, and he realized, he got to know that Yamunacharya liked this special dish made from a type of spinach. It's called Tuduvalai Kirai. It's kind of spinach. So he likes that dish. So what this Rama Mishra did is every day he brings that spinach to the cook in the palace and tell the cook to cook this for the king. Okay, so you all follow the story. Rama Mishra comes every day to the palace. He will bring that spinach and he will give the cook, will tell him, please cook this for the king. So this was happening every day. Okay, but one day he stopped. So what happens when you keep getting something very nice? You don't really ask, where is this coming from? Who is it giving? We don't really ask. But when it stopped, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Why it stopped? So we go like that, right? So like that, one day he will ask the cook, what happened to this spinach? Why you stopped giving me? Okay. So can we have you read this? Mataji's, Prabhu. Who else would like to read? Prema Papu Mataji. Long time I didn't.
Yes, Mataji. Yes. Hare Krishna. Rama Mishra, Manakal Nambi was trying to catch Yamunacharya's attention to fulfill his promise to his guru to install Alavandar as the spiritual successor to Nada Muni. but he could not meet Alavandar, being a king, how to discuss the matter. He came up with an idea. He came to know that the king relishes to the vale kire kind of spinach. He supplied the spinach to the royal kitchen daily.
Okay, yes. So, okay, so what happened was that so what happened was that the Nagunacharya will ask the cook what happened to this dish. So the cook will say that's because somebody has stopped supplying that spinach. Okay, so this cook will go and look. Sorry, the Yamunacharya will tell the cook, go and find out why it has stopped and bring that person to see me. Okay, I want to see him. I want to meet him. So the cook also will go and tell the Rama Mishra. He's also called Manakal Nambi. So he will say, my king wants to see you. So they will arrange a meet and he will meet Rama Mishra. Okay, so the next day they met each other. Okay, so Rama Mishra finally got an audience with Alavanda because Alavanda has been very busy. Right? Alavanda, you know, right? There's another name for Yamunacharya. So in that conversation, Rama Mishra has told Alavanda that his grandfather, Sri Narada Muni, had passed. So this is not Narada Muni. Narada Muni is not Narada Muni. He's empowered being. Okay, he is the compiler of the 4,000 Divya Prabodha Pasurams. Okay, Sri Narada Muni had passed on the family wealth. So you see how the Rama Mishra is telling, knowing that Yamunacharya is a person who is very much attached to the kingly opulence. He said, oh, Narada Muni had passed on some wealth to pass it to you. Okay, it needs to be handed over to Sri Alavandar. So Alavandar becomes so, Yamunacharya become excited. Oh, in that case, give me that. Just give me a second, yeah, my cable. Okay, so in that case, give me that. Okay, then Rama Mishra will say, no, hang on, it's not here. You have to follow me. Okay, so let's have somebody to read this, please.
Shall I read, Mataji?
Yes, Punita Mataji, come.
Okay. No, it is not here. Come with me. He took him all the way to Sri Rangam Koil. Arada Arulamudam.
It's okay, Mataji, you can ignore that.
He showed Alavandar the Divya Mangala Vigraham of Sri Ranganathan. Looking at the Lord in such divine splendor, the divine beauty, and looking with tears rolling down his cheeks at those Karyavagi.
You can proceed to the bracket, Mataji. I think these are Tamil. You go to the bracket in English.
Those dark, well-spread, shining, ruddy-lined, long, large eyes.
Okay, you see, immediately when Yamunacharya saw the deity of Ranganath, that dormant love was awakened immediately and tears rolled down his cheek. Have you all realized that, you know, sometimes when you see Krishna after a long time, then you have tears rolling down your cheek. You never knew that you missed him so much. So this has happened to Yamunacharya. கரியவாகி பூதை பறந்து மிளிர்ந்த செவ்வரியோடைய நீண்ட அப்பெரிய வாய கண்கள் big eyes, sorry. So those dark, well spread, shining, ruddy line, long, large eyes. So this is how Yamunacharya describes the beauty of Sri Ranganath. Okay, so it comes immediately. You see, just it takes the grandfather to call Rama Mishra to go and call him and tell him that he has to take up my, because he has the lineage, right? He has to take over the helm of that. So he knows Yamunacharya is capable of doing that. So he called back Yamunacharya and immediately Yamunacharya renounced everything. Okay, and this is what he says. Okay, can I have somebody to read this? It's a prayer by Yamunacharya also. Anyone?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji.
I have nothing to give you, none at all. I have no qualifications. I am not religious. What a great person my grandfather was. What am I? If
I have no.
What am I? I have no one but you, the embodiment of mercy, compassion as my refuge. He performed Sharanagati at the lotus feet of Lord Ranganathan.
Yes, so this is how Yamunacharya is renounced everything immediately. So can you see, even though, because he was such a sincere devotee, he was not a show bottle, right? He was such a sincere devotee. Whatever he has done when he was small is all sincere from his heart. That training that he received from his grandfather, okay, even though in between he got, distracted and diverted and everything got off track, but a moment association with the sadhu, it brings back your old nature. It awaken your dormant love for Krishna. So, and then he says this, I have nothing to give you, none at all. I have no qualification. I am not religious. What a great person my grandfather was. So at this point of time, he is glorifying his grandfather Nada Muni. I have no one but you as my refuge. Okay, so he performed Sharanagati, means surrender. Sharanagati means surrender at the lotus feet of Lord Ranganath. So this is the end of Yamunacharya's story, is how somebody who can be a very sincere devotee can get off track but always can bring back. So Krishna always never gives up. Okay, so let's see what Narada Muni says about this concept. Can we have somebody to read? Who we have not heard from? Kajai Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Narada Muni says, you have nothing to lose. In the immature stage, due to some sentiments or whatever, you may come to Krishna consciousness without a real philosophical understanding of life. You may fall astray, but you have lost nothing. You gain everything. But a materialist, even fully engaged in his occupational duties, he does not gain anything.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So sometimes in this Krishna conscious path, right, some people come because of some sentiments, some people come for knowledge, the people come for many reasons, okay? But if we do not have the strong knowledge foundation, any small distractions can pull us away, okay? So we will fall astray. However, nothing is lost. Whatever you have done for Krishna is always be remembered by Krishna, and Krishna always come and reclaim your soul. So this is the point. Okay, you have lost nothing, you gain everything. However, this is not the case with materialists. Okay, whatever they have accumulated so much, at the time of that, they have to give up everything and go. And then when they come back, they have to start from scratch again. So that's why we always say, what have you brought that you're going to lose when you leave? Because you have not brought anything, so you will definitely not going to bring anything with you. Okay, but a materialist, even fully engaged in his occupational duties, he does not gain anything. Okay, so that is Narada Muni. So let's see what is the verse from other scriptures say. Can somebody read for us, please? Yashodamai Mataji.
Matthew 6:19 to 20 net. What is that?
I think it's a verse from Bible, Mataji.
Do not accumulate for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal. But accumulate for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moth and rust do not destroy, and thieves do not break in and steal.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Okay, Kajai Mataji says it's a New Testament, the short form for New Testament, NET. Do not accumulate yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal, which means whatever wealth, material wealth that you're accumulating, it is bound to be stolen, robbed, rusted, all right, or destroyed by moths, okay? But when you accumulate something in treasures in heaven or kingdom of God, where moth and rust do not destroy and thieves do not break in and steal. So something that you cannot destroy. Okay. So what is the treasure that we want to accumulate? Is that bhakti, that love. So this cannot be destroyed by anything. Okay. So let's see what Rupa Goswami says. Rupa Goswami says, you have nothing to lose, but you have everything to gain. So this is the eternity of bhakti, on the contrary to the material opulences. Okay, so that's the short one. And we have Radhanath Maharaj saying something. Can we have somebody to read this for us?
I go ahead, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, can.
So we should not hesitate. We should not hesitate bringing others to Krishna consciousness. Sometimes we have friends, relatives, and we think, oh, this person, what if this person doesn't make it in Krishna consciousness? I don't want to disturb his or her material life, so I will not preach to them. I will not bring them to the temple. Do not treat them like this. Narada Muni is telling, even if they are perfectly successful in their material occupation, they gain nothing except karma and bondages. Whatever way you can bring a person to Krishna consciousness, however far you can bring a person to Krishna consciousness, it is the glory of that person's life. It is never lost.
Okay, yes, thank you, Mataji. So this is Radhana Maharaj excerpt from an extracted paragraph from Radhana Maharaj lecture. Okay, so sometimes we think we don't want to disturb them, right? So if we have that mindset, so maybe we should change that and try to bring them to temple, try to engage them in any ways, ask them to give donation for Krishna conscious activities. Okay, these are different levels of devotional service. In chapter 12, Krishna said like this, right? Level 1 is fully fix your mind. Yashoda Priya Mataji, do you remember all the levels we just did 2 days ago? What is the first level, Mataji? The best class of devotion service? 24 hours?
Yeah, 24 hours remembering Krishna.
Very good. 24 hours, the mind is fixed on Krishna. And if you can't do that, the best level 1, what do? You do the level 2. What is level 2, Mataji? Regulate?
Yesterday only, and last 2 days only, we answered the
Correct?
quiz.
No, forgot already, is it? If you can't fix your mind, yeah, the best level is fixing the mind on Krishna 24 hours. If you can't do that, then you have to regulate your life. What are the examples, Mataji?
Work for Krishna.
No. The second level, waking up.
Oh, fix your mind in Krishna.
That is level 1. If you can't do that, you do the level 2. What is the level 2? Anybody else would like to help? The level 2 is regulatory activities. What are the examples?
Regulative principle of Bhakti.
Yes, do the regulated principles of Bhakti, which is, give some examples, Mataji.
Calculate knowledge and meditate.
No, that is level 5 already. Okay, let me just give you the examples. Waking up early in the morning, taking bath, picking flowers for Krishna, worshipping Krishna, do your chanting. When you're going to eat, you have to cook and offer the food to the Lord and eat the prasadam. So this is how you regulate your activities. If you can't think of Krishna 24 hours, at least you can do this. And if you can't do this because of the situation at home or family impediments or whatsoever, you go to level 3. Level 3 is where you engage your money or your labor in Krishna conscious activities. You support the Krishna conscious activities. For example, recently for the flood victims, many of you in the 2 groups, they have come to pack the prasadam. Some even donated Lakshmi. So like this, you can donate. You give your donation in cash, okay, or you come and donate your labor. This is supporting work in Krishna conscious activity. Let's say you can't even do that, you are not allowed to do that, all right? What you can do is you engage in welfare activities. So we have like celebrities, using their money to set up some foundation for studies for less privileged children, and you have people like Aishwarya Rai. She has got foundation to support the surgery of deformed faced children. She has that. So they like this. So they are doing welfare activities, because all this gradually, even though it is not a spiritual activity technically, it helps them to be detached from the money that they have. So detachment is the first step. Okay. And then if you can't do that, I don't have money, Mataji, I cannot do donation, I can do welfare, then you at least study knowledge. What kind of knowledge? The difference between body and soul. So this knowledge, if you can't do that, you do your meditation. Better than meditation, renunciation means you work, that result you surrender somewhere. Or consciousness, your consciousness should be, I am not very much attached to the result of the work that I am doing. So this is the consciousness. So all this we already covered in level 2, chapter 12. Yeah. So please go back and open your PDF and see. Okay, Priya Mataji, just 2 days ago. So here Krishna gives 5 options. If you can't do this, you do this. If you can't do this, you can do this or this or this. See, Krishna is very kind, okay? But we should know where we are, which level we are, and then we progress like that. Slowly we progress upward. Okay, we don't want to go down. Oh, if I can't do this, Mataji say I can do this. No, yes, you can, but you have to eventually progress also. Okay, okay, let's see. Look at this cute baby singing.
नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानंद पता नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानंद
sorry
रूपम लसत्कुंडलं गोकुले भ्राज मानम यशोदा भियोलुखलाब्दा वमानम परमृष्टमत्यंत तो द्रुते गोप्या रुदन्तमुहुर्नेत्र युग्मं भजन्तं करं भोज युग्मेन शातंक नेत्रं मुहुश्वास कंपात्रिरेखांक कंठं स्थितग्रैव दामोदरं भक्ति बद्धम् इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्द कुंडे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तमाख्या पयन्तं तदीयेषु तग्नेषु भक्तैर् जितत्वम होता है, जित्यम नहीं होता है। पुनः प्रेम तस्तम शतावृत्ति।
Something happened. Okay, so that's how the baby will try to complete the words that the mother is saying. I can share this video again in the group. Okay, so child's prodigy is chanting the end. Okay, so this one, this baby now is slightly grown up. There's on YouTube. He's doing some other prayers as well now. Okay, yeah, so thinking time. Yeah, that's why, that's the point, Mataji. How can the baby can complete the words so nicely? All right. So what will happen if you are practicing now but unable to remember Krishna at the time of death? What will happen if you are practicing now but unable to remember Krishna at the time of death? What happens?
Krishna will remember.
Yeah, Krishna will remember us. That is the best case scenario. Then?
Mataji, Sirisha here.
Yes, Mataji.
I've actually kind of requested Krishna that whatever it is, he should help me, remember him at the time of death, at the time of my death.
Yes.
So I've given the responsibility to Krishna only to hold me until my last breath and make me remember his name.
Very nice. This make me recall a lecture from a Bhagavatam where one of the, I don't remember now, this person, this devotee, he actually said a prayer to Lord Perumal. He says, I don't know how my mind state will be at the time of death. I don't know whether I can remember you, but now Krishna, I'm telling you, you please do whatever it takes for me to remember you.
Yes.
Yeah, this is exact the prayer that devotee actually will tell Krishna. So like what you said, because we don't know, right? Right. So of course, Sri Ramanujacharya has also said what Tamare Mataji said. So that was mentioned by Ramanujacharya. He said, for those who worry that whether we will remember Krishna or not, don't worry, Krishna will remember you. So this was mentioned by Sri Ramanujacharya. But that's but in Sri, there's one lecture from Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. They will say, I will do my best, but I don't know whether I'll remember, so please, now itself I'm telling you, I'm putting a request, so please take care of me when at the time of death. Okay, so, but that is the best case scenario. What is the worst case scenario? You're doing all the best that you can do now, but you cannot remember Krishna at the time of death, what will happen? This was
The
in
next life, you'll be born in a devotee's family.
So that is the second one. What is the first part of it? Oh, we
The
only have
first part.
Krishna,
yes,
you
ma'am.
I heard in the class, Mara say, we cannot remember Krishna, but Krishna will remember us.
Yeah, this is what Tamare Mataji say, and this is also what Ramanujacharya mentioned. Okay, but now the worst case scenario. You're talking about worst case scenario. What happens if you can't remember Krishna? So there are two solutions. One, Prema Mataji said that we will be reborn in a family of devotee, so we can continue our life, our spiritual journey. What's the other one? This was in chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga. Arjuna will ask Krishna, what will happen to the yogi who fails? So Krishna will give two options. There's one destination for somebody who fails after a short practice and one who fails after a long practice. So what Prema Mataji has given is somebody who fails after a long practice. What is the other one?
Heavenly planets, is it?
Okay, it's about they going back, but when they come back, in what kind of family they reborn?
Someone in opulent family.
Yes, very good, Mataji. Thank you. Okay, let's look at that sloka. Okay, Punita Mataji, please read for us.
The unsuccessful yogi, after many, many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. Or, if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga, he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly, such a birth is rare in this world.
Yes. Okay, this is very rare. Okay, this could be for any yogis. Okay, Ashtanga yogis or Bhakti yogis. It can be anything. Okay, all right. So let's move on. Do you think you have accumulated any spiritual credit? Okay, reflection time. If yes, how are you planning to increase? If no, how are you planning to accumulate it? Please share your thoughts with us. Maybe we can hear from two students.
I think, first of all, attending this class, I think maybe half a credit is there.
Yes.
So if possible, I want to see through some of this knowledge acquiring process.
What action plan, Mataji?
So follow you.
Oh my God, I'm so flattered.
Follow you to attain Krishna, yes.
Okay, let's move on to my shawl. I take you. Yeah, we there is a saying, we always say this, I know, somebody was asking Prabhupada, are you sure that after practicing all this, we can go back to Krishna? Then what if we are not lucky or something like that? If anybody can recall the exact phrase, please share. Okay, this is what I can recall. Yeah, you can come to Goloka if you do all this practice devotion service, and the disciples were still not convinced. It's not like they're not convinced, they're very humble, right? What if we couldn't? What if we couldn't? What if we fail? Can we go back to Goloka? Then Srila Prabhupada say, just hold on to my dhoti, I will take you. He will say like that. So which means just follow his instructions. So we all are now actually clinging to his dhoti, following his instructions, which is mentioned in, which is written in the books. So we are just following that, and I'm just sharing, and we are also discussing. So like this, if we all remain in this nice, beautiful circle, then in Shri Krishna, we can always be inspired and enthused with each other's words of sharings and thoughts, so may we all remain this way. So definitely we'll make our progress. Okay, can we have one more person? Where do you see you are currently? Come Mataji, Kajai Mataji, come. Don't worry, don't be shy.
Because I was born to a family who's very pious. My family runs a temple and all. And from a child, I've been praying and saying kirtans and all that. So I think that is probably something that I took from my previous life, because I was already born to a very pious family. To further elevate myself, I'm always in pursuit of the truth. which is why I'm doing Bhagavad Gita now. And in my whole grandmother's, her lineage also, no one has gone to like Varanasi and all that. I'm the only one who's actually doing that spiritual journey. Yeah. So I think, don't know, I think I'm on the right track. I hope so.
Yeah, so you have, like, you're actually answering the first question. Do you think you have accumulated any spiritual credit? Okay, it seems like yes, because you're born in a pious family and you are now in this Gita Gyan, you actually taken a step forward. All right, so how do you plan to increase? What is your next action plan?
I always share my learnings. Every time I always share whatever I learn in the class, in Bhagavad Gita, in my travels, everything. I always share what I learned.
Where do you share, Mataji? Who's your?
Well, like, I put in my interviews, my podcasts, whenever I talk with my friends, every single time I am preaching, every single time I'm preaching.
Very nice. Yes, that's what we want, Mataji. Share what we learn, so we'll remember. Okay, thanks, Mataji. Okay, so the key is this. All right, read more and chant more. So that will be the end of the segment for our week 12. So as usual, we will go on to the nectar of the holy name. We need somebody to read for us, please. I'm so sorry about the long one, but we'll just read fast. Can? Yeah, Mataji, please share your podcast in our group. Okay. Okay. Who can read fast? Prema Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Shukadeva Goswami to King Parikshit, my dear king, wherever people in any position perform their occupational duties of devotional service by chanting and hearing Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, there cannot be any danger from bad elements. Therefore, there was no need for anxiety about Gokula while the Supreme Personality of Godhead was personally present. Sukadeva Goswami spoke this verse to mitigate the anxiety of Maharaja Parikshit. Maharaja Parikshit was a devotee of Krishna, and therefore, when he understood that Putana was causing disturbance in Gokula, he was somewhat perturbed. Sukadeva Goswami therefore assured him that there was no danger in Gokula. Srila Bhakti Vinoda Thakur has sung Nama Rashya Kari Yathane Tumi Takaha Apana Kaje. Everyone is thus advised to seek shelter in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and remain engaged in his own occupational duty. There is no loss in this, and the gain is tremendous. Even from a material point of view, everyone should take to chanting the Hare Krishna mantra to be saved from all kinds of danger. This world is full of danger. Padam padam yet vipadam. Therefore, we should be encouraged to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra so that in our family, society, neighborhood, and nation, everything will be smooth and free from danger.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for the long read here. Right, so it's beneficial spiritually and materially. Okay, so we should not give up at any point of time. Preaching is the essence, so it's about sharing. Like Ajay Mataji said, she has shared many times that every time she learns something in the class, she makes it a point to go and share with somebody. This is what I always say, right from my Gokul Garden to my youths, and even now in the adult class, I'm telling, please try to repeat a certain information to 4 people. So you will remember that. You write it down, you remember good, you remember it well, but if you repeat it to somebody, you remember it better. Okay, somebody please read for us this slide. Anybody there? There are 13 people out there. Please read.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. Carry on.
One should constantly pray to the Lord for protection and the blessings to preach. Unless one is sufficiently protected by the Lord, he may fall down from his spiritual position. Therefore, one has to pray constantly to the Lord for protection and the blessings to carry out one's duty. Lord Chaitanya also entrusted his missionary work to his devotees and assured them of his protection against the onslaught of material affection. The path of spiritual life is stated in the Vedas to be like the edge of a sharpened razor. A little inattentiveness may at once create havoc and bloodshed, but one who is a completely surrendered soul, always seeking protection from the Lord in the discharge of his entrusted duties, has no fear of falling into material contamination.
Okay, yes, thank you,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. So constant praying and constantly pray and remain in the service of the Lord. Okay. Okay, we have one last video before we end the class from Prabhupada.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam. So it is very difficult. Nobody can understand Krishna without become a pure devotee of Krishna. Because Krishna says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati javan jaschami tattva. Tattva in truth. Tattva means truth. If one wants to understand Krishna as he is, then he has to take this process of devotion, bhakti, rishikena, rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchyate. When one is employed as the servitor of rishikesha, the master of senses. Master and rishikena, when your senses are also engaged in the service of the master of the senses, then you also become master of the senses. You also, because your senses are engaged in the service of the Rishikesha, the senses have no other opportunity to be engaged. Locked up. Savai mana Krishna padaravindu. So, this is the process of devotional service. If you want to become master of the senses, Goswami, Shami, then you should always keep your senses engaged in the service of Rishikesha. That is the only way. Otherwise, it is not possible. As soon as you become little slack to engage your senses in the service of the master of the senses, immediately Maya is there. Come on, please. This is it. Krishna bhuliya jeev bhoga vancha kore, pasete maya tare japotiya dhore. As soon as you forget Krishna, even for a moment, immediately Maya is there. Please, my dear friend, come here. Therefore, we have to become very cautious. We cannot forget Krishna even for a moment. That was the chanting purpose. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Always remember Krishna. Then Maya will not be able to touch you. Mami muja prapadanti, Maya me tang taranti. Maya cannot touch. Just like Haridas Thakur. He was engaged in the service of Rishikesha, and Maya came in full-fledged strength. Still she was defeated. Haridas Thakur was not defeated.
So Prabhupada is actually basically saying this senses, we have to serve the senses of the master of the senses. The master of the senses is Rishikesha. It's another name of Krishna. Okay, it means the master of senses. So our senses should serve the senses of the master of the senses. Okay, at any point of time, we should not forget Krishna. Otherwise, Prabhupada said, then Maya will come in. Hello, my dear friend, please come. The Maya will call us like that. So yeah, that's very nice. Okay, so please try to get the small books and read. It's very nice to support these philosophies. Okay, yeah, so completion of, so basically you have officially completed 12 weeks, and that should give you the cert of Krishna Sevaka if you have completed the 12 week as well as this. Okay, taken the shelter of Srila Prabhupada, accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, engaging in the service of to Krishna, okay, to chant minimum of 4 rounds. Okay, if you are chanting minimum of 4 rounds, and you have given up vegetarian, you have given up meat eating, including fish and egg, and you are actually upholding the value of not causing harm to other living beings, then you are eligible to get this cert, Krishna Sevaka. So it's a reward for your achievements, your progress. Okay, 12 weeks. Okay, all right, so don't worry if you have not achieved any of this, but try to work towards it. Okay, slowly but surely. Okay, and we will continue to week 13, week 14. I will advise if there is a class next week. Okay, I am not sure whether there is a break or some kind of sammelan, means there is a assembly of everybody after the completion of week 12. I will advise that. Okay, so anybody has any questions? Oh, there's some chats. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay. Yeah, Kajai Mataji, please share the first podcast that you shared. It's about loss of somebody, right? I want to share to the other group, the new group that joined us.
I will put the link later.
Yes. Okay. So, no questions. Nice meeting everyone. Charana Mataji, Sirsha Prabhu, Gunaran Prabhu. Okay. If there's no question, then we can call it a night.
Yeah.
Everyone. Happy working, everyone.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, so yeah.
It was very nice attending your class.
Oh, thank you,
Very nice.
Sirisha Mataji. You are local?
No, Mataji, I'm from India, but I'm here from past 5-6 years.
Okay. Okay, you are from which part of India, Mataji? North, south?
South, Mataji, Bangalore.
Oh, okay.